Hello, good morning and welcome to British Dinosaurs episode 4. So in this episode we're going to look at a dinosaur that was a part of a group of large theropod carnivorous dinosaurs, and one of them was here, used to roam here in Britain, in the UK, and they were a part of a very unique genus of dinosaurs that had a very distinct feature, and that is the dinosaur we're going to look at today. So let's get into it. So in 1978 at Brightstone Bay in the Isle of Wight, there was a storm, and this storm washed up a lot of debris, a lot of rubbish, a lot of sand, ammonites, and along with it, it washed up some remains, some fossils. Now, one was to believe to be an iguanodon, but there was another fossil with it that they could not identify. A paleontologist and a group of amateur paleontologists were now looking at this specimen, and they described it initially as a theropod type, and it was eventually given the name NEOVENATOR. NEOVENATOR is today's dinosaur of British Dinosaurs episode 4. So NEOVENATOR would have lived around 125 to 130 million years ago in the early Cretaceous period in the UK and within Europe. Now, this dinosaur was a part of a group of dinosaurs called carcharodontosaurid, and these are large theropod carnivorous dinosaurs, and they have a very, very distinct feature: the skull. So the skulls are somewhat oblongated and somewhat narrow, however still robust. Their nose canal was strangely longer than other theropods. In fact, when I was younger, I used to get Acrocanthosaurus and Carcharodontosaurus mixed up by looking at the skulls. I then found out that that is their distinct feature of carcharodontosaurids, and NEOVENATOR was one of them. Now, despite being a part of a group of large theropod carnivorous dinosaurs, NEOVENATOR obviously was its own dinosaur. So what did it look like? It was about 2.5 meters tall, 7.5 meters long, and weighed about a ton. It was a very robust dinosaur. It had quite long legs, very built legs, short arms, not as short as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it had 3 fingers, with one thumb claw being longer than the other claws on the other fingers. And obviously the skull that I've just mentioned, the unique feature of carcharodontosaurids, the NEOVENATOR surely had that distinction. When they found it, they realised, when they measured the nose canal, it was then realised that it was a carcharodontosaurid type dinosaur. So, what did they eat? What did NEOVENATOR eat in British Dinosaur Britain? As I make my way through these questionable wooded area, NEOVENATOR could have took down an iguanodon. Now, it was found with an iguanodon, so that's a clue. However, like most predators, they would prefer to take down a handful of smaller prey. The bigger the prey, the more risk they have of injuring themselves, and once a predator is injured, they are no longer a predator, and they become vulnerable to being preyed upon themselves. So NEOVENATOR would most likely preyed upon ornithopods, some more bird-like dinosaur animals. But occasionally, especially if it had young, it would have taken down a bigger prey, such as an iguanodon, to feed its young. Now, I have mentioned this on other British dinosaur videos. When you see the dinosaurs mounted in museums, sometimes you can't help but think, I kind of thought they were bigger. But when you put it into perspective, so say for example an elephant is huge. If you were to then compare an elephant to a polar bear, you would notice the difference. But within our world today, those are massive animals. So when you see a mount at a museum, if you add muscle, flesh and skin to it, and it came alive with its full length and robustness, you would realise how actually big they were, even the medium-sized dinosaurs. So I always like to throw that out there. So if you ever lucky to see a NEOVENATOR mounted in a museum, then just take it in and realise what you're looking at, especially if you're from the UK. That amazing dinosaur once roamed Britain, or at least in that part of the UK near the Isle of Wight. And that's one of the reasons why I love dinosaurs, is because they're such massive, huge creatures, and hundreds of million years later we are still fascinated by them and dwelling upon them. And you know, this might be a little bit of a joke, but my #1 photograph to ever capture would be a dinosaur. So my perfect photograph is impossible unless it's obviously photographing fossils on mounts at museums. So that's it for NEOVENATOR. Quite a straight into it. I've not took ages getting into this video. So if you've enjoyed this video, I certainly have, please subscribe to this channel. I've got obviously other dinosaur videos, the previous British Dinosaurs episodes within this series, and the mystery side of this channel is stuff like cryptic creatures, unknown creatures. I have a Big Cats in the UK series that's pretty popular. I've also got an episode, videos on lake monsters or the Loch Ness Monster, and I've got a UFO, an extraterrestrial video. So if any of that floats your boat, please give my channel a subscribe. It would really help and support me. And stay safe and make sure you wear sun cream. Okay, that's Jamie from Dinosaurs and Mysteries. Stay safe.